Hello everyone, this is Judith with another twin flame video. We're talking about your journey. Yeah, let's have a little chat around an interesting topic, and this is like discernment. Because a lot of people, a lot of twin flames want to know, for example, is this other person my twin flame? And this is already indicating that you don't have clarity around that, maybe. And that's also something that is normal, right? Clarity comes uh, when you are like ascended in a higher vibration. The more you ascend, the more you have clarity, right? But it's also not that it's always stable. Clarity comes and goes because we have to adjust our vibration each and every day, really each and every moment. Yeah, it's just when we are like trained in that way, we have trained ourselves to be in a higher vibration, then the likelihood of going down is not so big. But really, it's really a work that we have to do each and every moment. And that's so beautiful because it also gives us the freedom to change everything each and every moment, which is not possible also because, as I already said, we've trained ourselves. We have certain habits and we cannot change everything from one instant to another. But sometimes there are those things, right? Where you see someone change radically. So it is possible, right? And it is even more possible to do this over time. And that's where you're going towards having better discernment around everything and also getting more and more clarity around who is your twin flame, or if this other person is really truly your twin flame, right? So yeah, and discernment is not only important in relation to that, because this is really something where I would say, or I would recommend, leave it open, right? Leave it a little bit open, see how it goes along the way, how you relate to this other person, and what comes up, right? What triggers come up, and yeah, just the whole thing, right? Because there are different phases, but that's for another video. That's not for today. So I would always say, well, surrender the outcome to the universe. Surrender, like, if this is your twin flame or not. But when it comes to other people in our lives, the more we move forward on this divine journey, the more we also start to go out into the world again, so to speak, right? Because there is this phase when we are in a kind of a sanctuary, and we're really like focused on this journey, on this divine union, where we want to learn everything about this divine union. This might be something that you are doing at this moment, right? That you want to dive deep, you want to soak up in all the information that you can get, you want to find like-minded people, you want to see where you resonate. And maybe you resonate with me. This could be a sign that what I have to offer is a fit for you. You can find a link in the description box. You can have a look at my offers. You can also choose to click on the link for the free webinar that I've created. This is designed to clear the energies on a daily basis. So that's also something that I would recommend. Makes things a lot easier, right? But yeah, but when it comes to going out into the world again, and interacting with other people and making friends and things like that, then very often we come from families with weak relationship skills. Let's call it that way, right? We have all kinds of trauma, and we could sense that there was something terribly wrong, and that this is not love, right? And so we are looking for those healthy, loving relationships. But when we, for example, have certain patterns that are running the show subconsciously, then we would always attract for example, narcissists, right? That's a very common pattern. And that's what we don't want. There's also sometimes always the question from some of you, is my twin flame a narcissist? And it could be, right? Then it's not your twin flame. If this is an unhealthy connection, a toxic connection, you also say. And of course, there is a phase where it really helps to see the other person as toxic, but really in the end, when we are in unconditional love, we just see them as wounded, and we would choose maybe not to interact with them and to leave them to their own healing journey, but we would not judge them, right? But there is this phase, and it can be useful just to feel what has happened to me, right? What was that, and how do I feel, right? That's then the critical thing, to take it back to you and to take responsible for everything that is happening with you, with your feelings in your world, right? That's where you start. And that's the only responsibility that you can take on, really. Yeah, and what's very common also is then that we are like very cautious what people to allow into our space and what people not to allow in our space, because we don't want to repeat unhealthy patterns, right? And so this could at some point also happen with our twin flame, of course, that we all of a sudden start to doubt, is he a narcissist maybe? Is this a toxic karmic relationship? And so how can you get this discernment? This discernment is really, you can get it for everything. Then in the end, not in the end, but once you have like found a way for you to feel what's of a high vibration, because that's what you will feel, right? You will feel, or you would have tools to determine what is of a high vibration, what is of the light, and what is of a lower frequency and more dense and more dark. So that's a wonderful place to be, because then you can always ask, right? You can always ask, Spirit, what is this? What kind of a vibration is it? Is this pure? Is this of the light? Is this empowering? Is this loving? And you can tell by your feelings also, right? It's different. People have different journeys. So for some, the feelings are more accessible. For me, this was not the case. So I did it in a different way, but I found my way, and I have this discernment and the possibility to always ask, and you could really ask for anything, right? What is the essence of this place? Is this a place that is good for me? Is this a high vibrational place? Is this what is this other person? You could also find out, is this other person maybe a soulmate? Is this someone from your soul family? I'm talking of friendships, right? Because more and more along the journey, you would then begin to act with other people again after this hermit phase, right? And that's when you want to live your truth, right? Where this is your this is your choice then, to live your truth, because that's who you are, and this is where you meet your twin flame. Your twin flame is your truth. And that's why you want to be very careful then to not accept anything that is not of the light. Of course, that's easier said than done. It's each and every one has to find the way through the jungle there, right? But that's also exciting. It's an advantage, right? To sharpen the skills, to try the skills, to learn about it. That's also where discernment then comes from, right? It also comes from experience. Experience is a big part of it. And yeah, and that's either where you already are or what's waiting for you, and it's really wonderful because it opens up a whole new world, and it's so empowering. As I already said, it's empowering, it's joyful, and it's fun always to see the essence of everything, basically, right? Just see the essence, and yeah, that's a whole other world. Yeah, that's all for today. I wanted to talk a lot about those ugly people that are not in your truth, but this was not what it was now. It was not about all those people like maybe judging you, because I think you get it. Yeah, it's about discernment, and you are this powerful light seeker who does not want to accept anything less than truth. Of course, your truth, right? There's not the one truth. Everyone has his or her truth, but something, for example, that is very healthy for you could be something that is repellent to someone else. I'm not saying that this is not healthy for the other person. Maybe that's also healthy, but it would repel someone else, and you are like drawn to that and attracted to that. So everyone has his or her truth. There's not the one truth. But it's fun to see your truth out there in the world, and to have clarity about what you want and what you don't want, right? And to go for what you want, and just not give so much attention to what you don't want. I wish you a really beautiful day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm also curious to hear what you think in the comments. And I see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.